from the Governor of Nairobi, the capital city of Kenya, straight to Kamiti prisons. The story of Mike Mbuvi Sonko. Who is Mike Mbuvi Sonko? And where does he get the guts to speak to the president the way he's been doing of late? In this video today, I want us to look at Mike Mbuvi Sonko, his political journey, the role Uhuru Kenyatta has played in his politics, and why he's likely to suffer. But who is Mike Mbuvi Sonko?
Mimi nimeshangaa. Kuna mlevi mmoja kule Sagana, wana wago amenitukana. Reporta niwekee msikie kwanza. Mnyamaze nyote. Sasa mmesikia huyu mlevi anasema mimi kazi yangu ni kuvaa goggles. Lakini ajue goggles ndio imefanya renovation ya Pumwani Maternity Hospital. Goggles ndio imejenga masoko Nairobi ambayo hajayafungua. Goggles ndio imejenga fire station mpya 3 Nairobi, hata baba yake kujenga fire station Nairobi. Goggles ilipea vijana wa Nairobi ngalisha jiji kazi. Lakini kitu huyu rafiki yangu sitaki kutaja jina, sababu nikitaja jina atasema niwekwe ndani ama ni uwawe. Hiyo ndio shida yake. Hasemi yeye ndio alinifundisha hii goggles. Kwa sababu kuna wakati nilikuwa tunavuta sigara kubwa na yeye.
But who is Mike Mbuvi Sonko? And where does he get the guts to face off with the president the way he's been doing of late? Before we go into all those details, if you're watching this video for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And I want to request the subscribers on this channel because they've been very, very supportive of this channel. I just want you guys to click that thumbs up button now. Now let us get back to business. Who is Mike Mbuvi Sonko? Because very few people seems to understand Mike Mbuvi Sonko. And by the way, in this video, I'll try to break it in sections. Who is Sonko? The role he played in Jubilee campaigns, his elections as the governor for Nairobi against all odds, the impeachment, and why Mike Mbuvi Sonko is currently being frustrated. I'm going to divide it into those 5 sections. Let's begin with the question. Who is Mike Sonko? Because it seems very few people understand Mike Mbuvi Sonko. Personally, I love Mike Sonko's politics. He's a typical politician, a street politician. But who is Sonko? Mike Mbuvi Sonko stormed into political scene in this country in 2010. Remember, during the 2007 general election, President Mwai Kibaki and his government tried to win certain seats by force because ODM managed to win with overwhelming majority. One of them was the Makadara parliamentary seat. Parliamentary seat for Makadara had been won by the former mayor, I think was it Dikwa Thika. But Ruben Dolo, who believed he won at that time, who was the sitting member of parliament before that election, petitioned that election. So the courts in 2010 nullified that election in Makadara. So the moment court nullified that election, Kenyans started seeing a young man, Mike Mbuvi Sonko, who was in the matatu industry. So Sonko would be seen representing matatu. I think those times there was this Michuki rules, there were those several rules, and he owned matatus there. So he would go to court, he would lead the demonstrations against some of those rules. Then people started seeing posters of a young man in Nairobi, Mike Mbuvi Sonko. So Sonko went and sought for ODM nominations in Makadara. But ODM party thought, and I think they were right, that since Ndolo was the sitting member of parliament before the election, and since it's Ndolo Ruben who had petitioned and won the petition, then it was just in order for Ndolo to be allowed or to be given the ODM ticket. So ODM party did not allow Sonko to contest on the ticket. Instead, Sonko opted for NARC Kenya, which was then led by Martha Karua. That was 2010. He suppressed Kenyans when he easily defeated Ruben Ndolo and Dikwathika. So that's how Sonko stormed into the political scene. I don't want to go into the other history because his history is actually complex and complicated. In 2012, because after that election, we had the new constitution coming in place in 2010. In 2012, Mike Sonko then decided to contest as the governor, as the senator for Nairobi. Again, Mike Sonko easily won that ticket, that seat on a TNA ticket. TNA belonged to President Uhuru Kenyatta. So he became the senator for Nairobi under the TNA. So that's how Mbuvi Sonko came. And when he was the senator for Nairobi, Mike Sonko started something which he was calling the Sonko Rescue Team. This Sonko Rescue Team was kind of offering a helping hand to the poor in the slums. So Sonko became very popular with the poor in the slums of Nairobi. So when 2017 elections came, Sonko easily won the Jubilee nominations. As a matter of fact, President Uhuru Kenyatta wanted Peter Kenneth. Probably that can explain their differences, the genesis of their differences. But Sonko outmaneuvered everybody in Jubilee and he won the ticket. Again in 2000, and again during the general election, he defeated Evans Kidero, shockingly, and Miguna, shockingly. So Sonko became the second governor for Nairobi in 2017. And that's where the problem for Sonko began. Sonko, and I'm going to go, let me just skip that. I'm going to go into his election as the governor of Nairobi. Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto knew so well that the strength of Raila Odinga was in Nairobi. In 2007, 202, Nairobi, the youths were with Raila Odinga. Uhuru and Ruto then came together during the ICC cases, and Sonko also played a role in mobilizing people to go to ICC. And when these guys were coming back, Sonko used to play a huge role in organizing for them masses to receive them. The role of Sonko in Jubilee campaigns was very simple. The first role was to mobilize the youths and the poor for Jubilee Party. Because he had the youths under the Sonko Rescue Team. They were following him. He was giving them handouts. He became their darling. They were speaking the same language. In fact, the story of Sonko is the true hustler story. So the first role was to mobilize the youths. The second role he was playing for these guys was to tackle Raila Odinga and the ODM. Because during that time, this guy had goons supported fully by the government. Sonko would go to a place with almost, I don't know how many people, with those huge bundukis. Mike Mbuvi Sonko. Because these guys were keen. So Sonko played his role so well. And he was elected. But how was Sonko elected as the governor for Nairobi? This is where the problem is. Sonko was not the preferred candidate for President Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta preferred Peter Kenneth. William Ruto also had an eye in 2022. And he was very interested in Nairobi and the surrounding, which is Kiambu. So in Nairobi, William Ruto supported Sonko in Jubilee, and in Kiambu, he supported Waititu, the two thugs of Nairobi. So both of them managed to win. So when Uhuru settled, Waititu was kicked out. Then Sonko became a problem because Uhuru said, okay, let's give him the Jubilee certificate. But we are going to give him, as the system, a person who is going to run the affairs of the county. Sonko cannot. The work of Sonko will be political face. Sonko said, it's okay. Being to a wash, it's okay. He won the seat. Immediately, he started destroying the system person, who is Polycarp Igade, and Igade resigned. Sonko failed to understand that his election was because of three things, which Uhuru Kenyatta helped him. I don't know whether he still appreciates. Number one, Sonko was not qualified to contest as the governor for Nairobi. Chapter 6 of our constitution is very clear. So Sonko could not get some of the clearances, were it not for President Uhuru Kenyatta and his government. So they cleared Sonko to contest. The second thing was the Kikuyu votes. President Uhuru Kenyatta was a darling of the Kikuyu. He was the anointed one. Uhuru was anointed by God, according to the Kikuyus. But the Kikuyus alone could not win Nairobi. So Sonko came with the youths, with the poor votes, and the Kamba votes. Then Uhuru Kenyatta gave him the Kikuyu votes. So basically it was the Kikuyu votes, and then the Kamba, the poor, and the youths. So Sonko ended up winning Nairobi, perceptionally, because Kidero believed Sonko never defeated him. And Sonko won. The third thing, which is not understanding, is that he won with 54%. He's one of the vifaranga via computers, the 54% algorithm, which the president won with, which Alfred Mutua won with, which there are several members of parliament from here in Kakamega, Jubilee members of parliament in Kakamega, the likes of Washiali, the likes of Dan Wanyama, the likes of Didmas Baraza. Those guys never won elections. They were aided by algorithm. There are very many, not just those. Even at the coast there are some. So Sonko failed to understand that his election as the governor for Nairobi was to serve a purpose. Uhuru Kenyatta and the Kikuyu elites had high interest, a lot of interest in Nairobi. So when Sonko became the governor, he tried stopping that. And these guys said, okay, you think we are fools. We are going to deal with you. Sonko resisted. Then that impeachment came. And I've opined on this platform similarly, that Uhuru Kenyatta did not really intend to impeach Mike Sonko. What Uhuru Kenyatta wanted to do was just to punish Mike Sonko politically. But Sonko is also someone who doesn't listen. So publicly, Mike Sonko pleaded with Uhuru Kenyatta to take certain roles of the county government of Nairobi, because there were cartels, it couldn't work. So Uhuru Kenyatta then decided to enter into deeds of transfer, and with the Sonko. So Sonko transferred certain functions of the county government of Nairobi to the national government. And that's the biggest political mistake Mike Sonko ever committed. I know for sure that Mike Sonko, wherever he is actually regretting the day he agreed to transfer certain functions of the county government of Nairobi to the national government. So some of these functions were transferred. And then the president created the Nairobi Metropolitan Services. And then he appointed Major John Mbadi. So this guy was supposed to work with Sonko. So Sonko was supposed to remain a governor, maybe a ceremonial, but Mbadi was to run the affairs of the county. So basically, what he had envisaged to do with Igade, he was not doing with Mbadi. So Sonko became rebellious. And when Sonko now started insulting Uhuru Kenyatta and the family, that's when Uhuru decided to teach him a political lesson. So he was easily impeached without any single noise. So the question is, Sonko was arrested. The government is seeking for 30 more days for him in detention to allow them gather more information or to carry more investigations, because according to the government, Sonko is someone who is known for his criminal activities, is known to be a jailbird, is known not to respect the courts, so they want him inside there as they do their investigations, because they fear akiachwa, Sonko can even decide and look for witnesses and compromise. And yesterday, Sonko was supposed to spend the night at Kamiti. I'm gathering that did not happen. He was taken to Gigiri. But why do you think Sonko was arrested? 4 reasons only. Number one, this is an elaborate plot to actually lock Mike Sonko out of politics. When the vacancy for Nairobi gubernatorial seat was declared, Mike Mbuvi Sonko expressed his interest, and he was even cleared by all the agencies. But later on, he withdrew. So these guys realized that in 2022, Sonko might decide to make a comeback. So they've arrested him. Several charges are going to be leveled against him, and these court cases are not going to end anytime soon. So by the time of going to 2022 general election, Mike Sonko will have several court cases pending in court, which means he won't be cleared to contest. Very perfect politics. Number two, I think the president and his handlers, and maybe the system, because Sonko has been crying with the name of Karanja Kibicho. These guys just want to torture Mike Mbuvi Sonko psychologically. And already you saw Mike Sonko crying in court. Already you've seen Mike Sonko turning the cells into a church. Pray. So basically, Mike Sonko is being tortured psychologically. You can imagine this is a guy who was running around with the goons in several convoys. When Mike Sonko was being arrested, you saw the kind of vehicles. When he was presented at Kiambu police station, have you ever seen those kind of policemen anywhere? Let me ask you. Have you ever seen them anywhere? Me, I've never seen them anywhere. So basically, they want to torture Sonko psychologically. Number three, this is a message to the rebels. People who are fond of abusing President Uhuru Kenyatta. That you can do it, but there's a limit. The president indicated clearly that these guys are insulting him so that he can arrest them, but he's not going to do it. But I think now he has decided enough is enough. So it's a clear message to these guys that if you abuse me, that's the direction we are going to take. And of course, you know, if you want equity, you must come with a clean hand. Most of these politicians don't have a clean hand. And lastly, number four, I think it's also a strategy to provoke William Samoei Ruto. Sonko is a key player in William Samoei Ruto's camp. That's a fact. He's a key player there. Most Kenyans had expected that after his arrest, William Ruto was going to lead his brigades to either Kiambu or to Milimani. He has not even talked about it. Only Oscar Sudi did after Kenyans started to question him. Because Kenyans are saying if this was Raila Odinga would have even been with Mike Sonko in the cells. He would have been with him when he was presented in the courts. And Kenyans gave several examples of Miguna, Edwin Sifuna, Junet Mohamed, everybody who has always been arrested. Raila Odinga has always stood with them. So these guys want to provoke William Ruto to see how he's going to react. I don't know what you think. But in my conclusion, Mike Mbuvi Sonko is likely to suffer more. Because if you want equity, you must come with a clean hand. The system has all the dirt on Mike Mbuvi Sonko, so they can choose to do whatever they want with those dirt. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day. And don't forget to click subscribe button. Don't forget to drop your comments. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day.